baby, so cold. He from the north, he from the Canada. Bankroll so low, I popped off, then your girl gave me just a little bit of la chop. Baby, so cold. He from the north, he from the Canada.
This is the path to the Celestial Realm? What is all this?
It's like the strange images we saw when fighting the balls.
Yes, that makes perfect sense. Vega's memories must be influencing the very landscape around us. Like this memory. Of our first meeting.
Ooh, let's hear it. Details, out with them.
You truly wish to know. I typically keep the details of my private affairs private, but we are all friends now, so lend me your ears.
You got him. Spill.
We met at a ski resort. I boarded a chairlift only to find a charming young lady in the next seat. As we were climbing up the mountain, the girl beside me looked afraid, so I reached out to pluck a winter bloom from a nearby tree.
Wow, look who's Mr. Smooth. Though some might say giving a flower.
Forward or no, it was for naught. She went off then.
And now this false god has stolen and twisted that
We have to free her. We'll release Vega from the... You bet we will. So, what does everyone plan to do after the battle ends?
Good question. I'll probably go back and help Father Ananias with the peace agreement. I guess we'll still be working together.
I certainly do hope so. What about you, sir?
I'll probably just head back to Norende and, you know...
I sure hope so. Last time you said that, you went and collapsed. Scared us half to death.
Sorry about that.
And, Magnolia? Are you still planning to go?
Yes, it is my home after all. I have to help my people get their lives back together.
Yes. Of course.
What about you?
Well, first I've got to work on reforming the Crystal Guard. And, well, the rest is, private.
Alright, back to business, everyone. There's no time for chit-chat.
is...
Should we ask? I feel kind of bad poking around.
My, you are insane. So tell me, do you believe in fate? Vega and I were reunited the following spring. I had achieved some success as a researcher. My superiors, feeling threatened, had me transferred. It was envy, plain and simple. Not yet having the wisdom of years, I sulked in a desperate attempt to get back at those I felt had wronged me. I dashed out into the rain with no cover whatsoever. I risked more than simply catching cold. In those times, as I trudged along in sodden despair, a woman came dashing after me, umbrella in hand.
Oh, that was Vega!
Yes, she was a colleague at the remote research facility to which I had been transferred.
Oh, la vache! How could one not believe in fate?
What a remarkable coincidence, I thought. In the small space we shared beneath that umbrella, we finally introduced ourselves. But wait, how curious. If the memory of that ski lift became a ball, that means... Vega, my dearest.
I guess it really was fate, huh?
Vega and I got along well, though purely as colleagues at first.
And then?
Summer is the perfect season for risks and adventures, you know. In either event, that summer I took 2 great risks I'd never before dared to. The first was to ask her to accompany me to a festival.
Quel courage! That's the spirit!
The second was when I confessed my feelings to...
Wow, way to go. But how did...
Sometimes a man must do what he must. And every moment of that night, from the fireworks to our hapless attempts to scoop goldfish, have been indelibly etched into my memory.
That this memory has become a ball must mean it was of deep meaning to Vega as well. Goldfish scooping? That sounds strangely familiar.
Yeah, didn't someone we know do that?
This memory seems different from the others.
And with good reason. It wasn't all love and romance, after all. Vega and I may have grown closer, but we were still colleagues, working in the same lab on the same research team.
That sounds complicated.
You'll recall that my being sent there was a demotion. We were given neither the funds nor tools to carry out meaningful work. But dreams are the ultimate motivator, and so Vega and I poured ourselves into our research. She believed in my hypothesis and did whatever she could to contribute to my vision. She snuck into the archives to retrieve data I could not, and contributed creative ideas and solutions whenever I hit a dead end. In the end, my experiments succeeded, and my hypothesis became an accepted theory. That was when I first felt it. I knew that I could overcome any difficulty if only she were by my side. That I wanted to share a lifetime. If attraction is gazing into one another's eyes, then true love is setting those eyes on the same shared goal. Or so my theory goes.
Right! Same goal! Got that, you?
You understand, don't you?
What are you looking at me for? Do you understand what he means, Magnolia?
Yes, no, I do.
Oh, this is giving me a headache.
Oh, look what we have. Once again, I have good news and bad. Which would you like to hear first?
The bad news, and make it quick.
You're quite the anxious type, aren't you, idiot? We'll have none of that. I shall start with the good news.
Why'd you even bother?
It was a very special night. A holy night, one might say. I reserved a most lavish dinner for the occasion. It was that night that I finally did it. I proposed to her.
Natomo! She must have been so happy! How did you act?
There was no dithering about. I just came out and said the words, "Will..." She cried. Cried in joy, of course. It was the
But that's wonderful. So wait, what's the bad news?
Though we were now engaged to be married, I could not afford to buy a wedding ring. I was receiving fair wages for my work, but I poured the lion's share right back into my research. She told me not to worry, that my love was enough, but still, Shortly after, we held a small ceremony and became husband and wife. I eventually saved up for a ring, which I gave to her the day before I left for Luxembourg. I didn't appreciate it at the time because of those worries, but in light of all that came afterward, it was a happy time for us.
After that, you and Vega were forced apart.
Quite so. In the end, but do not cry for me. My life was far from a sad one. After all, I lived my life to the fullest, working toward the goals I had set for myself. You must all live your own lives as well. Have courage. Be brave enough to default on the expectation.
To find the courage to defy the world and live our own lives. Listen, everyone, Altair says he is, but I'd rather live in a world where his efforts are rewarded. Altair doesn't deserve to have his true love stolen from him by some dark god's meddling.
That's right. Let's free Vega from the grip of the false god Providence.
Of course! I don't want to see another person forced to live without the one they love. Recommencer avec bravoure. A second chance, if we're only brave enough to... As long as we don't give up, there's always a chance to do things so... Altair, don't give up on Vega yet!